Welcome to Business Talk Sister Gawk. I'm Becca.
I'm Ruthie.
And today we're going to be talking with Candice Sjogren about the gym that she has opened with a few other people. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we're super stoked to talk to you. And just so you guys know, we went to her gym today already and got to share some pictures or take some. So we will be sharing them with you online as well later. Mm-hmm. So one of the first things we want to know about is, what is your business?
So I am a co-owner of 30West's Fitness and Recreation, which is a fitness center, aka a gym in Chisholm, Minnesota. But we are also a recreation company. So in the past, we have offered stand-up paddleboard rentals and things like that, but we'll be getting into more recreation as our business grows.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, so why did you guys do it? Tell us that.
What's
your story?
That's a loaded question. So for myself and my husband, Joel, specifically, we just kind of had a collective dream to open a recreation facility in Chisholm, and then our other partners, Nick and Jen, they wanted to see a fitness facility there. But outside of that, there were no other gyms in Chisholm. So there was a demand and a need that we felt that we could meet. There was a small gym at the high school in Chisholm, but it was small, old, weird hours kind of a thing. And so we knew that there was a need for a gym in town. And we also thought it was something that the community wanted. Yeah. So that's kind of why we decided to do it.
So classic entrepreneurship, like see a need, meet a need. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So tell us, how many people are in Chisholm? Like, what's the population?
It's right around 5,000.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, so what is your success rate right now, like, of everything that's been going on? Like, because it seems, it's a beautiful gym, like, it's awesome, and it seems like you guys have put a lot of work into it and stuff, like, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we have received overwhelming positive response from the community. It seems like people, they love seeing young business owners, and let me tell you, outside of being, this is not our only business, okay, or our only jobs. So I'm a stay-at-home mom to 2 kids. My husband has a full-time job in the mines, and then Nick and Jen are both full-time physical therapists.
Oh, wow.
They also have 2 kids.
Okay.
So this is like the side hustle of all side hustles. And so we're busy, but people love it. They love to see us there making it work. And right now we have over 200 members, which is great.
Wow.
So that's working toward, goals.
Yeah.
We want more. We're not done yet, but we've been very surprised and encouraged by the response from people.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, tell us about, like, when you guys started putting it together. What was, like, the process of deciding, is it going to be profitable? How should we finance it? Like, what did you guys go through to figure out, yep, we want to do this?
Yeah, so I think one of the benefits, too, of being in a team of 4 is that those things are not my strength. So we have different strengths and weaknesses. And Jen, the other woman in our business partnership, she is like a researcher of all researchers. So she kind of was on finding our projections, what the revenue minus our startup costs and actually running the business would be. So she did a lot of that work along with a business consultant who we had. That was one of our very best resources, I think, and something that I would encourage anyone who is thinking about starting a business to find in your area where there is a small business agency of type, whatever that means. I don't know if they're the same everywhere. But where they have consultants who can help you start your business. And so she worked a lot with him.
And was this through the government, or was this a private person you guys hired?
This was through the government. Yeah.
Okay. So
through UMD.
Yeah, okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So that was a big help. And okay, what was the rest of your question? So we that's how we kind of figured out how it would be profitable. But then there was also how are we going to pay for this, right? So we did take a little bit of our own personal finances, but we also met with the Community Development Agency, CDA, and the Economic Development Agency or Association, because they can offer loans at low interest rates. And so we were able to secure a very large loan from them, which was awesome. And then a loan from the bank.
And that covered all the equipment and
Yes.
stuff, and as well as the building that you purchased?
Yes, the building came primarily from our CDA loan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was there a whole lot of renovation that you guys had to do?
Actually not too bad. So our building is 2-story. Right now the second story is, as you guys saw today, it's still being renovated. But the bottom floor where the gym is wasn't too bad. We painted everything. We added some structural elements like a small wall. We weren't sure getting into it, like, okay, weight machines weigh a lot and free weights add up when you have all those free weights in one spot on the floor. So we even had to have a structural engineer come and look underneath our building to make sure that there was proper supports,
yeah.
you know, to hold all of that. So that was an added cost, but thankfully the building was secure, so we didn't have to add anything there. So really, we kept a lot of the character the way that it is. If you've been to our space, it's a super old building, which we love. It has a lot of character, the old brick wall, the wood floors that are marred and, you know, black in some spots, but we love that. So we didn't want to rip all that out. It's cheaper to keep it, but also it adds to the character of the building, so that kind of worked in our favor to do it that way.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what's required to run a gym. Like, what's the total number of hours? And how does that go?
Licensing.
So the interesting thing, actually, with running a gym, so our gym is Keycode, an automated Keycode entry.
Okay.
So all of our members, when you sign up, you get numbers that you type in. So we technically don't have to be there. I mean, that's the wonderful thing about running a gym, and really the only thing that would make it workable for us, because we do have other jobs, was to have something where we don't have to be there 100% of the time, because once you have everything up and running, the gym pretty much runs itself in a way. So I would say for like us personally, being on site at the gym 20 hours a week.
Okay.
Really, or less, you know, as far as actually working shifts at the gym, being there to sign people up, clean, ask or answer questions, any meetings that we have. It's pretty low compared to like what other businesses I think would be.
So is that 20 hours a week total between the four of you? Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
nice.
It's just the four. You don't have any other employees at all?
We actually do have one intern. His name's Anthony, and we found out a way through a friend of ours that there's like a state-run internship program.
Okay.
So they pay. We don't even pay him. He works for us, turns in his hours, but then the state pays.
You
the
should
county,
send
something like that.
us the link to that.
I can give you my friend who found that out for us, because it's been invaluable. Starting a business, we couldn't hire somebody right off the bat. We don't have the resources to do that. And so to find out that, hey, there's this program, he can work, I think, up to 32 hours a week, and there's no limit on how long the internship can be.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yes.
That is very valuable.
It is wonderful.
Yeah, that's awesome. We should
Yes.
really find more. I know I've heard of that for like the SciTech programs and stuff, but I haven't heard of it for specifically any small business. So that's really exciting, and I definitely want to look into that. Yeah. Okay. So what are some of the tools you guys use to organize, or what kind of stuff was out there that you were like, wow, this is really great, best paid or free resource you recommend anyone using?
Yeah, well, and I already kind of mentioned this, so this kind of goes along with that, but the, small business consultant administration, they can give you so many resources outside of just their own knowledge, so I would say connect with that. But us specifically, we've used Google Drive a lot. Being a team of 4 owners, we can communicate so seamlessly. So we have things like our shift notes on there, so whenever we're working at the gym, we can add in notes so that all 4 of the owners can see what's going on. We have any of our documents loaded on there. That's been great for us. We use Google Voice. Do you guys know what Google Voice is?
We both have that.
Okay,
we love it.
So it's great as a business where we're not there all the time. So if somebody calls and we're not there, the Google Voice takes it as an email. We can respond right away even if we're not at the gym. So that's been great. Is it free?
It is
Yeah,
free.
it's totally free.
I think it's free, but my husband is the one who did that, so I didn't remember
It's
that.
really easy to set up, and it's on the tools and tips page of our website if anybody's interested in looking into that. It's definitely worth the time investment.
Yeah. We also use a small company in Minnesota called Recreo, and they handle all of, or I should say their software handles all of our rentals through our website. So we initially started when we started offering stand-up paddleboard rentals in the summer, and so everything was online. People would book them online, and then we would just have the paddleboards ready to go in our foyer, locked up with a key code. So we would just email them the key code, and it was very easy that way, so we didn't have to be there all the time. But now we've moved into also offering our day passes for the gym and week passes online through Recreo and all of our small group fitness classes, so people can sign up online and they can have immediate access to the gym, which is pretty sweet. So I don't know how valuable that would be for people outside of
gym membership.
But honestly,
still.
And Recreo isn't even for gym memberships, it's for rentals. So if you're going to have a rental business of any kind, it's super pretty great, and they're a really easy company to work with.
It's like Airbnb, but for everything that's not a house.
Yes, yes. And then as far as paid for things, QuickBooks.
So Recreo is free to use?
I believe it is.
What?
That's
because they add in a tax on when people rent.
Okay.
Or whatever, they add in a fee there, and so I'm pretty sure that is free.
Okay.
Pretty sure. But yeah, QuickBooks.
Ruthie is gonna be looking into that right after this. She's gonna be like Googling.
But as far as our paid one, I think QuickBooks. So Nick is our director of operations, and he's the one that does more of the financials. None of us is schooled in that, so we knew that we needed something to help us, and so we invested in QuickBooks and in training for Nick to learn QuickBooks, and then we also invested in an accountant just to kind of make sure that we were starting correctly. And then we can kind of touch base with them. So we don't have an accountant like working through our books all the time. We do use QuickBooks primarily, but that's pretty, I would say, you should do that because you don't want to be starting off on the wrong foot. And if it's just you yourself, then you should be well versed in how your books are running and your numbers are looking. For us, it's nice because there are 4 of us, so it's something that Nick feels like he has a good handle on, he wants to do. So all 4 of us don't have to know everything. He's kind of the expert in it, and then communicates to us what we need to know. So yeah,
awesome. Okay, so from that, like, what were you most scared about when you were opening a business? Like, what were you scared about, and how did you overcome it to say, yep, we're gonna go for it, we're finally gonna push forward?
Yeah, well, it is very scary to open a business because you can run the numbers as much as you want, which I would say having an airtight business plan or is a very detailed, comprehensive business plan is super important, and I think it will definitely you will be more successful if you do that, but it's not a for sure thing, and so it's kind of taking a risk, changing your life, adding something in. I was scared because I like routine and I didn't want my day-to-day to be changed, and this added a lot of change. But for us, having a team of 4 was great because you can flex and flow with each other, and where we have different strengths and weaknesses, I think that settled my nerves a little bit. I don't have to know everything because there's 4 of us. But what would I say to somebody who's going to be on their own starting a business is to utilize the resources around you. I mean, we've already shared about, I know somebody who is a photographer and they take pictures, or, I know somebody who's in accounting and they can really help. So utilize those resources. Don't think that you are an island and you have to do it all on your own, because there are so many resources around and so many people who are willing to help, especially if it's somebody young starting a business. They love to see that. So
so what's the best decision you made, and maybe something you would avoid for the future? And like, what advice would you give someone who's going to be starting a business or thinking about starting a gym?
Whether that's like for your family, like this was a really good decision for our family when we were starting this business, or for the business itself.
Well, I guess I can say a couple of things. Number 1, it's never the right time. So don't be waiting for like this perfect, the stars align and everything is perfect, because it likely won't happen. I remember thinking that was one of my fears. We have 2 kids. Joel's at work all the time. Nick and Jen have 2 kids and a full-time jobs between them. Why are we doing this? It's never the right time, but it was the right time for 30 West. And so just be encouraged that everything doesn't have to be perfect, and sometimes you do have to take a little bit of a risk. But now I forgot what else I was going to say.
Yeah,
what was your other question?
Don't do this.
Oh, don't do this.
Or like that was the best decision you made of just saying like now is the right time, and then the worst, like we would not do this again, would not repeat that.
I honestly don't think we've had a worse decision yet.
Praise God.
Yes. We've only been open just over a year. Okay, there are things I think we could learn from, but there's nothing that we've said we should have never done that.
And I think that really stems from just the power that you guys have had with researching, really making informed decisions and not just kind of flying by the seat of your pants. Like this is something that, like even the decision to make the gym in general, you knew it was a good decision because there was a need for it. You'd done the research and you knew it would be profitable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think if I can speak to our team, I would say he's our team leader, Nick.
Yeah.
Director of operations. He leads us well in our vision, thinking of the future, big picture type stuff. And one thing that he said is that when you're starting a business, especially if you are on a team, you need to have direct and honest conversations at the beginning of these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, these are your strengths, these are your weaknesses. Let's operate within those things and not go out of them. Because you're starting off really knowing what you're capable of, who should own what, and you're having a super honest conversation about that. And that has been really helpful for us because as a team of 4 and 2 married couples, we can get. I mean, sometimes you feel like you're putting out fires between a husband and a wife, and it's just a different dynamic. Yeah. And so it's important for us to feel like we can be super candid with each other. And so I think that honestly has contributed to our success. The first meeting that Jen and I went to asking for a loan from a banker, he said, it's never going to work. 4 friends, you're never going to work as business partners. And so for us, we were kind of like, what the heck? Why would you say that, But I think maybe in part he was just trying to protect us. Yeah. But it just reminded us that we need to be intentional about each other inside the business too. So not only about making informed decisions, but to be intentional with one another as friends and business partners.
To continue relationship even when things get difficult.
We try to treat it like a marriage, honestly. And in the times that we hang out outside of a business meeting or something like that, we don't do business talk at all. It is only friends talking about our kids, enjoying time with one another, and keeping the business separate.
And that's so good that you guys are going in with both eyes wide open, of just knowing that this is important for our relationships, and just knowing that, I think from the get-go, it's better than finding that out later on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this is the part of our show where we gawk about something, because we do a lot of business talk. Okay, so before we leave, we're going to tell you a story about something embarrassing. So we just hide it. It was going to be something embarrassing. We had a couple different options. And I think we're telling you about our headbanging story. Is that it?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So, Becca, everybody in our family has had braces thus far. We all have very poor teeth. There's 7 kids in our family. And so Becca had braces, I think, when you were 14 or something like that. And I
flossed every day, but
every day for a
2 years.
With your braces?
With my braces.
Wow.
And we would all be the 3 of us shared a room, the 3 girls, and it was just we'd be ready to go to bed, and she'd still be flossing her teeth. It was horrible.
I'm just gonna say the guy who did the orthodontist scarred me with those pictures. What could happen? So I was that's not happening to me.
Yeah. So one time we were all brushing our teeth in the bathroom, and I don't even know what happened. Honestly.
Okay, I remember you took one of those, those little micro bead pillows.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she'd put it on her head as a hat. She'd indented it into her head, so it was some kind of
eating my head.
Weird foam headdress piece of a robin's egg blue color. Yeah. Yeah. So then she started whipping it back and forth, on her head,
holding it and swinging it around.
Yeah, headbanging. And so then we decided it would be a really good idea to start headbanging in the bathroom
together
to see if our hair would flip forward and backwards. Except for I was a little bit taller than Ruthie at the
I'm
time.
pretty sure that is around the same time that Willow Smith came out with that song.
Yes.
Of,
Oh,
the,
yeah,
with
I'm
my hair
yeah.
back and forth, and
Yeah.
I think it was like
Yeah, maybe.
coincided. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. So, anyways, there was a miscalculation of how we should headbang, and I pretty much nailed her in the forehead with my braces.
And I had a nice little indent of
Yeah.
the tracks of her braces. Like, it was like
Yeah, it
bracket,
was like-
line, bracket. Like,
It was like little, like, boom, 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 boom across the forehead for quite some.
it was
quite a
like
time.
at least 2 days that
Yeah.
I had this. Like,
It was a little
really,
embarrassing,
the scratch. Yeah.
Was
so,
that also one of your many concussions?
actually, no,
Oh.
it was not. Yeah, thankfully that did not happen.
So now you know. Fun story about us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we appreciate it.
We are super excited to like hear about you guys as you grow,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe we'll even have you back in the future when you guys expand to new places.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
All right, and thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next week.